Yeah, why not? It's Wednesday. It's happy hour. Why wouldn't we get drunk at the director's garage? Hey, everybody. Cheers and welcome to the Humpday Happy Hour. Oh, man, I'm way off mic. Humpday Happy Hour Hangout here at the director's garage. If you ever wondered if this thing was real, it is real. I'm your host and resident India, Michael. The Meze Elites, I've been listening to these, and I've got the fancy angled pads on these. Normally, I go with these super thick mofos, these guys right here, because they're super comfy and cushy, and they're leather, and they feel good. But this is the sonic preference, because it's got a... These are beveled. They came out later, like about a year ago, and they're beveled and contoured to give you better audiophile goodness. So I've gone with them for a week now and listening to some different things. New episode tomorrow. Please watch it. Too fun. What are we going to do today? Yeah, I got a new episode coming out tomorrow. It is a new product. It is a mystery box from Audio 46. And it's spectacular. You're gonna love this thing. I haven't even scratched the surface of what this thing. It's not a headphone. I'll give you that. There's my hint. Not a headphone. But I've only scratched the surface of what this thing can do, and I'm blown away by it. I think it's fantastic, and I think you're gonna really get a kick out of it. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning. But for now, we're gonna be talking about headphones and stuff. Cheers, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. I don't know what got up my butt in the last 10 minutes, but I suddenly feel like, let's do some crazy things. We're going to talk about my products of the year. This is going to be a technical challenge for me because I want to show images along with these products, and that's all going to be going to the laptop, which means I've got to have the laptop preset. I've got some stuff called up and ready. Howley just jumped on a chair out there. By the way, I should show you this photo. Can I do this? Yes, I can. Sí se puede. I'm going to send this to the... You got to see my cat and what he's been doing for the last... Yeah, that'll take it. It'll take a second, but... Okay, let's open it. Here was Holly an hour ago. As I'm trying to set up this extravaganza of an episode. Let's see, we gotta go here. This was Holly an hour ago. No, you can't preset your music. No, you can't preset the computer. You are going to pay attention to me until I say otherwise. That was Holly an hour ago. Just sitting on Dad's old laptop up there. Yep, gotta do it. Jackass. Too much. So that was my production. I had some production challenges, leading into this episode. So let's jump into, while we're waiting for the chats, I want you guys to put down your favorite, say your favorite headphone and your favorite non-headphone, electronics product or gear product from the headphone, all headphone related, but like your favorite amp or DAC or whatever it is. Give me your one thing, and the only stipulation I'm going to say is make sure it came out in 2024, right? Your favorite of the year is the Sennheiser HD-800. Well, it's 10 years old. I mean, maybe your favorite discovery this year. We'll talk about those things another time. I just want to talk about 2024, your number one item. What it was that just grabbed your attention. And I'm going to go through mine. And I'm going to start off with headphones. And my first headphone is, I'm going to cheat. Right off the bat, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cheat right off the bat. And it's a product from ZMF. And the reason it's a cheat is because we don't know if it's coming out this year or not in the next couple of weeks. It could be a first quarter 24 release, or 25 release. But that's this headphone right here, and that is the ZMF. Just dropped Like it's the Bokeh open back. The Bokeh open back. My brain went like completely blank for a couple of seconds there. It's really funny. This I auditioned at the show, and I was quite impressed with this thing. First of all, the design is gorgeous as always with a Zach Merbeck headphone, and I was just blown away by the sound of this thing. This, to me, actually elevated the sound of the Bokeh itself, of the Bokeh closed, and it's very close in sound and sonics to the much more expensive ZMF Atrium. So for that alone, I'm putting that on this list. I've heard, and the other stipulation on this list is I had to have heard it. So I know that there are some things y'all are going to say, well, what about this headphone? What about that? I haven't heard everything. This is stuff that I've heard at the show, heard from friends, came across and checked out this year, was things that I, auditioned in-house and were sent to me. I had to have used the product. So there's some things that are going to be omitted just because, I didn't get my hands on it. That said, I'm going to stick with the ZMF motif here for a second, and I gotta find the photo. ZMF it gets a second entry on this list. I just gotta find. Oh, it's in this. Yes, and that's going to be the Caldera closed back. And this was sent to me by Zach. I thought this was a really beautiful headphone. I thought the Bokeh Open gave me a little more excitement, maybe. I was a little more excited by that. But this is a beautiful headphone. It's a beautiful sounding headphone. And Zach took some risks with the design on this. You can tell that they're not perfectly round cups. These cups have, it's kind of an angle thing going on with them. They're beautiful as always with all Zach products, but this was a headphone that I thought was remarkable. The problem is I like that Bokeh open back even more, especially for the price. That Bokeh open back is going to tease in at under $1,000 to start. Now it may, you do some different woods and stuff. It's probably going to go higher, but the base model Bokeh Open is going to come in at under $1,000, and that to me is super exciting. Just amazing stuff. My next product I'm going to talk about is this one. This was sent to me by Audio 46, and it's a Dan Clark product. It's the E3. Now I know they came out with the Aeon 2 Noir Black, Noir X. Just last week. I have not heard that headphone, so it can't go on this list just because I haven't heard it. Everybody's hearing that headphone, says it's great. I have not heard it. This to me was a big step in the right direction for Dan Clark Audio. Previously I have auditioned and owned the other two previous, the Stealth and the Expanse, and I didn't like either of them. I thought both of them were they just didn't hit my sound, the things that I wanted from a Dan Clark headphone. This one did. This one was remarkable. I thought that the E3 gave rich, robust bass, beautiful sparkling highs, a surprisingly wide soundstage for a closed back, and an interesting design, but in retaining the whole foldy thing, which only Dan Clark does so well. So that's choice number 3. Now we're getting down to the last couple, and my next pick, it should be probably on most people's best of 24, and that would be this headphone right here, the Rawl Manus. I auditioned this at Can Jam, and I thought this headphone was absolutely spectacular. It just was so impressive. I gave it a couple of knocks for bass impact and sound impact. I didn't feel like I felt the music all that much, and I kind of like a more physical headphone. That said, the stage on this is probably the best stage I've heard, and I loved the way that the music just sort of floated around you. It was a beautiful, beautiful sounding headphone, highly detailed, exceptional detail, and just gorgeous. And I, after hearing that headphone, I understand what all the hype was about with the Imanis. I want to check my picture real quick, make sure we're not, you know, looking horrible, because, you know, it is me. I mean, it's gonna look horrible no matter what, but, you know, at least we're the best version of horrible we can be. Just checking this out real quick. Okay, let's go to that. Can you go to that? Sometimes it doesn't like to do this. Nope. Okay, fine, be that way. All right. Can't check it. Why does that app do that sometimes? I don't quite understand. Anyway, I hope I'm all right. If anything's wrong, just tell me. So we've led off with the ZMF Bokeh Openback. My second choice was the Caldera, Closed Back, the Dan Clark Audio E3, the Rala Imanis. This next pick is going to be my choice for headphone of the year. And I've got to find it in this photo. Here it is. And this headphone I regrettably am going to put as my headphone of the year. But I can't deny the fact that this Sapphire unveiled blew me away. Positively blew me away at the show. I thought it was a gimmick. I thought it was a bad idea. I thought that it was a disaster in the waiting. I thought that it was outrageously priced. I wouldn't say overpriced. I'd say outrageously priced. There were all those things. That said, for pure sound, that was the best thing I heard. That was. I gotta give it to HiFiman. I've got to give them credit. They impressed me. They blew me away. I thought that this headphone outshone anything else that I heard at the show that day. And it is my choice for headphone of 2024. Headphone of 2024. So now, next I'm going to talk about the digital, and it's outrageous. It's $8,000, and you don't get grills. But guys, I can't deny what I heard. I heard what I heard from this headphone simply astounded me. I'm like, damn if they didn't outdo themselves and make it better. And in almost every way. So they took what is my current favorite headphone probably in the Sapphire, and they brought it to a new level and made it far more dangerous. It's the James Bond of headphones now. Just danger is its middle name, because you're going to tear that thing up at some point. It's just a matter of time before you drop it and it falls on something, you know, like a pair of fingernail clippers or something. Disaster strikes. However, for sound, I can't. That's hard for me to. I can't deny it. It was impressive. It was impressive. This next product, I got a chance to audition privately, I would say. Somebody invited me over and I heard it. And we're going to digital stuff now. This is my favorite digital stuff of the year. And I got an audition of the Boris, which is DCS's Ultra $200,000+ Apex DAC. And this was astounding. It impressed me. It shouldn't surprise anybody that it impressed me, but the Verisi to me was it's too expensive. It's not my product of the year, but it definitely goes on my short list for crazy impressive stuff. And I thought that this was pretty damn out there, pretty damn impressive. and another landmark product for DCS, although it's unobtainium. It's made out of unobtainium, and I don't think anybody can afford this thing. That said, it's a hell of a stack. Mono DACs, you've got a core, you've got a master clock, you've got the user interface. It's very much Lena in its style, but it is fantastic. I'm just blown away. Okay, so that's an unobtainium pick. This next product, though, I'm not 100% sure this came out in 23 or 24, but this is my digital product of the year, and I got to play with this a little bit at the show, and the Eversolo A8 to me, for $2,000, you get a stream it all, do it all, great sounding DAC streamer, controller, Rune point. It does so much, and it's so impressive, and it is so inexpensive comparatively. Compared to other things that are out there in the streaming range, it's a damn steal. I want to show one other product. This is new. It's not out yet. I have not heard it. I have not played with it. I have not seen it, but it's available for pre-order. And this is the update over the Eversolo A8, and that would be the A10 Eversolo, and this is a more stylish designed box with some extra goodies and visuals and stuff. Another screen inside the volume knob. This to me is the product. This might be the product of next year, but for me, the Eversolo A8, it's redefining what the quality you can expect at the price at just $2,000. This thing is shockingly impressive with its features, what it can do. Let's try and see if we can get to the back side of this. It takes, you can hang a drive off of this. You can run it HDMI. It takes Ethernet in. It takes USB in. It will send out unbalanced or balanced signals. It does so much, and it does Wi-Fi and all the things you would want from Rune. It's got a beautiful display on it. This picture does not do the display justice. It's a sharp, beautiful color display. So that would be my product, my digital product of this year. And I haven't had a ton of digital products, to be fair, that I've been able to play with this year. But that was the one that impressed me the most. So next I'm gonna go to, well, there's only one IEM I can put on this list, and it's the only one I really heard this year. Well, I've heard a couple. I guess I've heard a couple. But I'm just going to get the picture up real quick. Okay, and that's the one that we heard at the show. I was with all the guys, and we checked out this. This is from 48 Years. It's the Macbeth. It made an impression on me. I don't know, was it the best thing of this year? I don't know. I didn't listen to enough IEMs this year to really make like an assessment. Last year there were a few that I got a chance to hear at the show. This year I really didn't pay much attention to the IEMs. But this one certainly sounded excellent, and I was pretty impressed with it. So I will use that as my as my IEM pick by default. Last year I would have said the Viking Ragnar was the most impressive thing that I heard. But this year it's got to be, I think that 48 Years was quite impressive. And I didn't get to hear all the stuff from Noble this year, which is a shame, but I just, not enough time to do episodes this year with me looking for, work. Next product, we're going to move into the amp world. And the first one is a tube amp. And this I heard at the show, and I was really impressed with it. And that's the Cayin Soul 170HA. This thing runs about $8,500, and it was a beautiful, warm, tubey sound, very clean, very clear, just a gorgeous sounding and looking and functioning product from a high-end brand in Cayenne, and I think that this is one of their best. This was one of the best tube amps I heard all year. And the next one I didn't spend a lot of time with, but let's see, I gotta find it. I didn't spend a lot of time with, but it did impress me what I heard from it, and that would be this amp right here. This is the Felix Envy. Now, the Felix Envy has been around for a long time, but they did release a 25th anniversary. It's a 300B tube amp. It's got a lot in common with the sound of my Wu WA5LE. It's similar sounds. I think there's a little something extra for my ears coming from the Wu that I appreciate. But the 25th anniversary version of that had they dolled it up on the inside. I don't even know if you can buy it anymore. I don't think it's for sale anymore. I think they had a limited run on those, and that's done. But the Felix Envy goes on my short list for amps of the year, and I think that my choice for amp of the year should come as a surprise to exactly no one. It was the amp that just, and this is the amp that I auditioned after hearing the, was it just after? I think it was just after hearing the, or it was just maybe just before. I think it was just before I heard that amazing, oh, what's the amp from, I did a whole show on it. The one with the funky buttons on the front. Drawing a blank. How can I forget this amp? And this amp, it's driving me crazy. Somebody put in the chat real quick. What was the amp? The $17,000 amp that I reviewed. Mascobo, thank you. The Mascobo 465. Thank you, Gene. The Mascobo 465. This amp, the B21 Raider from Ray Samuels, to me outperformed it. It impressed me more. It had more guts. It had more aggressive stance. Plus, it could drive electrostatic headphones, as well as the toughest, and I mean the most difficult on the planet, headphones to drive. It's actually too much power for the lesser headphones unless you can really dial down your input source. It looks gorgeous. It sounds even better, and it's built by a legend, and it's got pedigree. So I don't know what else you would want from an amp, and it's just the return of the king, and a remarkable product from Mr. Ray Samuels. That's my product of the year. I think that's my product overall of the year, even more so than the headphones. If there's anything that really stood out to me, to the point where I'm just waiting for the work to come in so I can pay him for one. Well, you know me, I put my money where my mouth is all the time, and that's one of them. This is it's a $12,500 amp that outperforms a $16,000 amp in my opinion. So this was my product of the year. It's just, I think it's taken everybody by storm and surprised the world that it came out of, this guy comes out of retirement after a career of building some of the best amplifiers in the history of the hobby, and he dropped a a truth bomb in the middle of what everybody else is doing, and it was phenomenal. So that's my product of the year. So that's my list of top stuff for 2024, and I hope 2025. I think it's going to be even better. I think there's even better things ahead. I'm excited about where Audeze is heading. I probably could have put that Carbon 2, but I don't think I heard enough from it, and I want to hear a final version. I want to hear a release version of that and hear what that sounds like in a controlled setting. What I heard was very, very good at the show, but I don't know if it was good enough to put on my best of the year of 2024 list. So those are my personal products that I think are outstanding, and there's so much good coming up too. It's an exciting time to be in this hobby and to be doing a show like this, and everybody's putting out great shit. And those were the things this year that impressed me. So that said, what are your picks for products of the year? We're going to go into the chat now and see what you guys what impressed you guys. Okay, and happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm going to take a sip of stuff here because why not? Okay, Neil Snyder says Neil's in the house. Well, he's back from the dead, folks, because last week we learned that Neil had died, and now he's back here alive. Neil sent me something too, by the way, and I think I can show this off, but it's nothing you can buy. Neil, like me, is hearing challenged in some regards, and he has an imbalance in his hearing. So he wanted a device to control balance. And let's see if I got this. Let's open this with. So he contacted Ray Samuels to see if he could come up with something, and Ray did him a one-off as a favor and came up with this. This is a balance control, left and right. It allows you to separately control the left and right channels. And it's quite impressive. And I'm super impressed with this. Now, the only thing I'm not sure is if this is left and right or if this is switching. This is the switch between the pairs on the back, or there might be 3-position switch, and then that's the balance left and right. Not quite sure how it's working, but an impressive little piece of hardware designed custom for our friend Neil, who has some issues with hearing imbalance. He sent us those pictures today, so I just wanted to show those off because that just shows you the amazing stuff that can happen in our business. If you have any photos to show us, you can send them to my email address at directorsgarage@gmail.com, directorsgarage@gmail.com. Also, for those of you jumping in late, new episode will be out tomorrow. It is a mystery what's in the box from Audio 46. They sent us a product. I showed off the box last week. Well, this week I decided to open it because my Apollo video did so poorly. So there you go. And I'll be safe. If you're a Patreon, you'll get a preview of that tonight. I'll send out a clip from that tonight. Adnan says, hello, wonderful gentlemen. ZMF November is done, and his bank account is crying. Well, what'd you pick up, Adnan? What made your bank account cry? Howdy, gents. Sorry I missed the last couple of hangouts. Crazy busy. Hey, busy is a good thing. I've got another gig planned, but it's another one-off day only, unfortunately. For Neil says his favorite two products is the B21 Raider, which I concur, and the Macbeth IEM, which he picked up at the show. I'm just going to make a little adjustment here to the heat situation and turn the... this room gets really warm with all this gear in it, so my best way of dealing with it is I don't have to run the air conditioner. All I have to do is turn the fan on for the furnace, and it will circulate cool air into this room from the rest of the house. It's kind of nice. Gene Fruit says his headphone is the Ralamanis product. It's more difficult. Felix Envy 25th anniversary, maybe. Oh, see, we're all thinking down the same line. Audio Technical Narukami. Is that the... I gotta look that up. I don't want to get that wrong. Stand by, folks. We'll take a look at it. Oh, yes. Oh yes, I have not heard this headphone, which is why I can't put it on the list. I've heard great things about this. People have raved about this headphone, but I haven't heard it, so I can't speak to it. But what a great looking headphone, and people have heard it have said impressive things. So here you go. Apos Audio. Block them. Don't let them jump in here. Yes, closed-back headphone from Audio-Technica, and they still, every now and then, you know, you don't hear a lot about Audio-Technica, but once in a while they jump out there with something, and that was something that turned a lot of heads, for sure, especially with the finishing on that. Really amazing. Cheeky Fest, hello. Arthur Haywood, almost missed this one. How could you miss this one, Arthur? Almost. Hipster Cow, his headphone is the Audeze CRBN 2. Very interesting. Okay. I thought it was really impressive. I need more time with it to put it on that list, though. I want to hear that. I want to hear it in its like final form in a quiet room. I thought it was really good, but I don't know if it was my favorite thing. And those two other headphones, the Imanis and the Sapphire unveiled, those two outshone them to me. Not on, you know, it's one of the best detailed, you know, great detailed headphone, but it's interesting to hear a E-stat with bass, and I'm still going to get mine converted for sure, because I'm very interested in what they've done with it. His IEM would be the Boris Fugaku. I don't know what that is, but I'll take your word for it. The amp is the Lave, the LTA Aero. Interesting. Linear tubes making an appearance. And the Hiba R4. A lot of people are into the Hiba R4. That's interesting. That's an interesting call. That's a good call. He wants to audition the Eversolo DMP-A10, but hasn't gotten a chance yet. Yeah, me too. Verisi or Verez? Well, it's got a tilde on the second E, so on the first E, so that could be Verise. Well, whatever. Ken Workshop. Hi, all. I just stopped by to say hi. Cheers, Ken. Cheers. HipsterCom Mass Kobo. That was out last year, though, so I can't say the Mass Kobo. Oh, that was a... Sorry, that was the one I was searching for the name of the thing. Thanks, guys. Thanks for filling me in. Yeah, that's awesome. JTB bought the HiFiman Aria Unveiled for $1,200 on a Cyber Monday deal. Should be here tomorrow. Fingers crossed. That's a pretty safe bet, though. You know, HiFiman's been on a pretty good roll. You know what you're going to get. Hipster Cow said he preferred the Mass Kobo to the B21, but could be cognitive distances to avoid buyer's remorse. Hey, you know what? We all like what we like, and there's no right or wrong answer. That's for sure. I think that, you know, and I listen to a lot of rock music, and I listen to a lot of music that goes for huge impact, and the capacitance inside of that B21 is insanely impressive, and it has that ability to just deliver a punch, very fast punch, quickly, and I like the physicality of an amp like that. That's the reason that I really loved the Enlium 23R and the Bakun 13R. They're just big, whopping powerful amps that can take a headphone like the Modhouse Tungsten and manhandle it. It's like, oh, you need, okay, well, stand back, you know, and get out of the way. Oh, the 300B amp. Okay, that was the Audio-Technica you're talking about, because this came with an accompanying amp, right? It was released with an accompanying amp. This is it. Here. Pretty good choice. Pretty solid choice. $108,000 though. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, look, you get a Takatsuki 300B. No, there's 1,000 or 2,000 of the 108,000. Where's the other 106? I'm sure the wood, you know, it's handcrafted and all that stuff, but I don't know. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it sounds beautiful. I have not heard it, and so therefore I can't even nominate it. But 108,000, man. I'm like, that's twice the cost. Really? Is it twice the sound of the HE1? You know, I don't know. But it's fun to discuss, though. I love having the discussion. That's the best part about this, you know. But it is kind of like, holy God, what are they? What is it? Just wound in gold? Is the whole thing like all the windings made of gold, solid gold? Because where are they getting the price on that thing? Or you know, what's the precious metal? There's got to be some precious metal in it or something. Because how do you get there? Unless they're just doing, you know, like HiFiman does, they'll sticker shock you to make you think it's the best. You know, is the Sapphire unveiled in $8,000? No, it's not $8,000. It probably costs them half that at least. Each of the four are $4,000. Okay, so there's 16. You know, even like hand wound in silver. I'm like, even if it's that, it's like you've got a lot of ground to make up. Like, it's got to be, there's got to be more there, because, you know, putting the parts together, I'm coming up with about 20 grand. Where's this? Is $80,000. So that's why I think it's like a HiFiman kind of thing. It's like, you know, they will inflate the price of the thing because it makes it appear to be the best. You know what I mean? All right. Gentlemen, what's happening, says Nephilim. Cheers, Nephilim. He thinks the more exciting headphone that came out this year is made by Nick Hutchins. It's called the Dahlia. Gus Company called the Hi-Fi for All looks great. Okay. I'm unfamiliar with either of those. So, interesting. I would have to have that sent to me or something. But if it's an independent, you know, Modhouse Tungsten, no slouch. That could, I mean, but I don't know that was the last year, because I think they were at the show last year. So, in fact, I know they were at the show last year. So I don't think I can, even though it started shipping in November last year, I think. So I don't think the tungsten can be called. I don't think the tungsten can be called that. Anyway, Hipster Cow says, Nephilim, he was very impressed by the Hi-Fi for All headphones at Can Jam. I didn't get to hear all this stuff. I stuck to the things I needed to hear. I want that LTA Aero DAC. It's an R2R tube DAC. Very cool. What could go wrong there? JTB said he would direct anyone looking for a budget closeback to give their wallet a break and try the Phio FT1. He'd more probably vote for the Phio FT1 as a contender for Headphone of the Year for its price performance factor. Yeah, well, that's the appeal for me for that ZMF. The price to performance on the ZMF could put it over the top. I just want to hear it more. And together with that little homage amp, I could have listened to that all night. I was so impressed by the sound that was coming from that thing at the show. An open back in a loud room, and I just was like, this is a wonderful experience. And that's kind of what I had the other day. I pulled these out and I was listening to, I don't know, I was just going through some tracks, because I've got a little new setup here that you will find out about tomorrow. And I unveil a new product tomorrow on tomorrow's new episode, and we go through its features. So I've been spending some time with it this week, checking out some different features and things it can do, just to get more familiar with it. And yeah, I've got to say I'm pretty impressed with what it is. But I was using this is one of the headphones I was using this week, was the Meze Elite. Very good. Kevin Jock says his budget pick Focal Denise. Oh God, because it's East. I'm gonna say Adnice. Ferrum Orstack is his source pick of the year. Well, that's been out for a few years now, though. I don't know if you can call that for this year. Caldera Redheart for his higher end pick. That would be the closed. Caldera Closed was on my short list for sure. I didn't spend any time with the Focal stuff at the show. I still have a brightness issue with a lot of Focal products, so it wasn't like one of those must-stop things. I did finally spend some time with the Utopia that was released a few years back, the update to the Utopia, and I shared my thoughts on that on my episode about the CanJam. There you go. And I thought that the new Focal had much better bass, the new Utopia. Thought it had much better bass. I did not like the styling. I thought the styling, they actually downgraded the styling on that. I thought the older version was classier and more elegant and beautiful and mysterious and just gorgeous, and this one was cheaper. It just did not do well in the design department for me. Bought Adam, his son, a starter tube amp. It's called something called the KN Soul. Yes, that was one of my products for the year. He's not heard it, but he thinks it should make a good first tube amp for him. Oh, yeah. That's a good place to start. That's a nice amp. The problem is, Neil, he's got to work his way up to this stuff so he appreciates what he's hearing. You know, if you've not heard like an entry-level good tube amp, you're not going to appreciate an $8,500 tube amp. It's all right. You're teaching him to have his dad's taste. I love it. I have heard the KN Soul. That was one of the things I auditioned in, and it did impress me. I thought it was a very nice amp. And it was in the ZMF room, right next to the Raider that's right behind me. Nephilim says, hipster, so nice to hear, my friend. He'll be taking the leap and buy it soon. His YouTube videos are great as well. He's like the Bob Ross of headphone building. Oh, he builds headphones on camera. Very cool. Guy after my heart. I think I would do that, except you'd all tune out because I can't solder for shit. Neil says, Mascobo 465 is a great amp, but it was too colored for his taste. I thought it was a very smooth sounding amp. It was a very smooth and very beautiful amp. Probably had more detail to it than the B21, but it just didn't have the horses that the B21 had, and there's a grandeur to the B21 that it's like a force of nature. It's such a great amp. Phenomenal. 108,000. I think it's sold. Yeah, for this one, for the Nero from Audio Technica. Right here, boys. 100. Just take my credit card. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. But you get included. You get some Takatsuki 300Bs. That alone. Input options are later constructed of the more solid cores. I mean, it looks like gold. Maybe these things here are gold. Oh, God, it's so awesome. I mean, this is fun to look at. And then a $4,000 companion headphone for your $108,000 amplifier. This is great. I mean, there's so many amps, though, that I would want to try before that. I would love to hear. I got to hit my boys up at Western Electric and see if maybe they'll send me their new amp to review. I would love to do that in a headphone setup. They've got that beautiful new I think it's a 91. It's called. It's 300B amp. It's beautiful. It's got a gorgeous screen on it. Very clever. Very nice. Okay, so these $900 volume control. Okay, well, that's great. 108,000. Gene, should we go talk to these people, or have them send it to me? Nick can send me the Dahlia. Awesome. Nick, that would be great. Nick, we'll check it out. That's awesome. There's a few demo units. Nick, yes, for sure. Just, you know what? Seriously, hit me up. I'd love to check it out. We do it on the show, and I'd just hit me up at this email address, directorsgarage@gmail.com. Very simple. Nobody ever writes me. Feel free. Just be pithy. Because most of the time I'm getting like semi-obscene notes from Neil. I like pithy stuff. But that's great. I'd love to check out. Would love to check it out. Well, Michael just struck gold. No problem with that. Oh, nice. It was great meeting you at SoCal, Nick. That's great. See, I'm missing all this stuff. Would you like to be my son? Well, you know, if you were, 94 maybe, Neil, we're short some hair here to work it out. But no, I think that's great. The KN sounds great, and Nick, I would love to check out your headphones. So send it to me, and just include for me, if you can, any information. Well, we'll talk offline. It's fine. I just need to know particulars about it. I like to tell stories with these things when I unveil a product. So I'm going to ask you questions about it because I want to know where it came from. I want to know where the idea came from. I want to know because I think that good products have great stories to tell. And that's part of the excitement of doing this show. So there you go. So yes, I would happily do it. Nick, you have so many that I would appreciate you. We cannot think of a more deserving person. Your story is awesome as well. Thank you for stopping by. Michael Nick is pretty much a hero for audio for 2024. Please seriously take him up on the headphone. I will. No problem. Watch the YouTube videos as well. You'll get a sense of the quality and detail present. Well, if there's anything I appreciate, it's somebody who spends a lot of time and effort in what they do. And that's one of the things that struck me about Ryan Dietz, Zach, ZMF. The time and effort he puts into the finish of his products is crazy. It's crazy good. You see something like the Aegis amp, and you see it's just a thing of beauty. Everything he does is a thing of beauty. That's the best thing. And there's a lot in common with that with this list here for my best of the year. And you right down to the B21, which is my overall pick for the year. Ray rejected case after case after case before coming up with a case that he felt was worthy of. See if I can find that photo. Nope, that's not it. There it is. Took this from my iPhone. It's an iPhone shot. But this design, he rejected case after case before he settled on what it was going to be. And the thing that I love about this is he still kept sort of the theme, the overall theme, going back to the Dark Star. There's not insane differences between the layout and the overall look of this. So it's got some beautiful colored anodized product plates and stuff on this, which I've seen done in some different colors and stuff. But I think it falls in line with his other products, which is just great. It's got that sense of belonging to the other products he's done. So it's super impressive. But and then you see the attention to detail when we took the cover off of this thing, and I showed some of the photos from inside. You look at the way the transistors are all laid out on the boards inside this thing, and how they're all aligned perfectly, and they're all evenly. He is meticulous on how he does his stuff and separates the power supply and keeps the noisy part of the amp away from the delicate part of the amp. These are all things that, you know, great amp builders do, but when you see it done and reduced to an art form, or elevated to an art form, I should say, not reduced, it's just super impressive. It's impressive to see, and you see the way this stuff is built, and man, it's just like, damn, these guys knew what they were doing. Such good stuff, and I would say the KN Solo is a gorgeous. That's a gorgeous amp too. That was on my short list for this year. You just look at some of these products, and it's like, damn, this is just super impressive stuff. Super impressive stuff, man. Good things going, good things ahead. So that said, let's do one thing that we haven't done for a while. We've only got. I'll probably go first. Mrs. Director's already home, and her class got canceled, so she's going to want to take a jaunt around the neighborhood with me. And I enjoyed talking about the products of 24. We got to talk about music too. Probably should do a music episode coming soon. But one thing I like doing, as you know, is because it's been, those of us who are in the cheap seats like to buy used, and one of my favorite things to do is to go look at the used section of Headphone and find out what people are selling. And it's been one of my favorite segments in recent months, and I wanted to go back to it and see what's up there today. And there's an Empire Evo for a very good price, $13.90, very good. Always like seeing that. Hypsos or Hypsos combo, $18.50. Oh, that's the lowest I've seen it. That's a great price. Something good deal. Fantastic. $1,600 for an SR009. It's an older headphone, but still holds its value. Maybe one of the most detailed of the electrostatics. If you like classical, man, that's a great headphone for classical music. Final audio, some final audio stuff. Final price drop, $1,900 for the Annihilator. Ooh, 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 tasty, tasty, tasty headphone. Really? Man. That's a great product there, and it's a good price. That'll go fast. That's not sitting there that long. Beautiful atrium closed for $18.50. Look at this. Look at this finish. It's like a nebula. So good. God, I love these products, man. I love looking at this stuff. T2 amp. Only $12,000 for this one. What's this? Oh, T2. It's an E-stat amp. Sorry, Los Angeles. That is going to be it's going to be a sales call. This must be based on the KGS design. There's so much. This looks so much like the. This looks so much like the Blue Hawaii. It's scary. That's funny. 12 grand, huh? Might do better with the Blue Hawaii for that price. Somebody looking for a Ragnar. Very good. Oh, we did this page. Next. Next. What else is for sale today? Midgard, that's pretty good. K&R U6, $155. That's a good deal. If you're looking for a little portable DAC, love this thing. So nice. Get a little kit with it. Very cool. It's got a nice display on it. I like the RU. Ship Moldner, $1,000. Pretty good price on that. Kaiser 10. LCD-X, 700 bucks. Nice. Nice! Do a couple more. See if we can get down to something really interesting. Verite closed, stabilized. Maybe because it's stabilized, but it seems a little high. Tube Mini, 500 bucks. That's not much of a discount. TH-900 Mark II, 975. I love this headphone. Love this headphone. So fun. Punchy bass. Punchy bass. Visioneers 10. You see it? Nice. A lot of IEMs for sale today. Fewer on the headphones than the electronics, but a lot of IEMs for sale. People are ditching their stuff. Maybe there's new stuff coming out soon. I love doing this segment. So fun. Hollow Bliss amp. $23.90. Not bad. Good price. ZMFs for sale today. A lot of ZMFs. Fostex 909, 1,100 bucks. That's a pretty good deal for a current headphone. SimGot. I did this headphone. I think that was a really nice headphone, but that's overpriced for a used product. 55, really? No. Nobody should buy this at this price. I don't care how good the cable is. That's way too expensive. That's the problem with some of the Head-Fi stuff, is that you look at the cable, and like the cable is just, you can't get that. Cables are the worst investment. You'll never get your money out of a cable, boys. Never get your money out of a cable. It's a bad investment. You're gonna, it's okay if you want to do it. It's okay if I have no problem with anybody who wants to build a cable, buy a cable, but the resale on cables is horrible. It's sunk costs. You'll never get it back. And this guy's, the guy there is like trying to get 1,200 bucks back for his cable. I'm like, good luck. Because I have the superconductor for I paid like $2,000 for that. I think I paid list price for that superconductor cable on the Abyss. And I'll get, if I get 500 bucks for that thing, I'd be great. I'd be lucky. Nobody's willing to pay top brand new prices for a cable. Anyway, so fun. God, I love doing that. Seeing what people are selling. Here's look at this. WA-23 Luna. Look at that for somebody selling this 23 Luna. It's got a nice setup. It's got the Zale and a wave, what you call it? PS sound. $6,500. It's a $9,000 amp, new. God, so good. Anyway, good stuff, guys. Good stuff today. Go through some more chat, and then we'll wrap this sucker up. Binary Feed is late again. Why are you late, man? Should always be here on time. I'm here on time. By the way, I did send my cable off to Trevor at Norn. My Expanse, my Dan Clark Audio wired cable, to get it re-terminated for the Sisfara. And he's gonna do that, and I'll pay him for the work, and then he's gonna send it back to me. But I'm appreciative of that. He said, yeah, no problem. He goes, I'll give you the labor for free or whatever. But I still wanna pay him, because it's his hard work, and I believe in that. But Trevor's going to re-terminate my Dan Clark Audio, the beautiful blue cable that he sent me that matched the Expanse perfectly. Unfortunately, the Expanse was not worthy of the cable. Was my mouth, did I actually engage my mouth when I said that? Oh boy. Spicy take. But true, to me anyway. I was disappointed by that headphone. That was so set up too, man. Just headphone, like the great, and no, just didn't sound very good to me. All right, so let's get back into the chat here for the last couple, and then we'll go home. He's had his eye on a Molnar Carbon CC on US Audio Mart for some time now. Very tempted. What's that for sale for? Hipster, if you can, tell me, what's that? I have the Carbon CC here. That's the best sounding electrostatic amp I've heard, period. So far, anyway. There's something that's just expansive about the sound. It's just got this airiness to it. And the B21 is no slouch. It's a beautiful sounding, I mean, it drop dead gorgeous sounding E-Stat amp. I just think that the KGS has just a little something on it. A little magic on top. It's still beautiful. I listen to both of them. I use both of them all the time for E-Stats. Fantastic. But yeah, you're not going to go wrong with that. That's an amazing. The Carbon CC is the best version of that amp. ZMF has some great B stock available. That's good. Always good to save some money, guys. I'll try to save you money wherever I can. And tomorrow's a budget product. You're gonna be impressed. You're gonna like tomorrow's episode. New episode drops tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. East Coast. Hipster Kyle says he believes the T2 is a KG adaptation of the original Stax T2 Energizer. Well, the KG is open source. I know that. It's an open source design, and it's just the guy, and I forgot his name, Steve. No, it's Berger. In the opposite of Steve, Berger in Iceland builds those things. And he's got a great website too. If you look it up, find Berger's, because he's got great, like he's got a Stax Omega for sale, which is arguably the best E-Stat headphone ever. Certainly in the top. It's from the 90s. It's phenomenal, and it goes for 10 grand. But it's, you know, Stax Omega is considered, it's like in the Hall of Shame. KG, Kevin Gilmore, yeah. Kevin Gilmore does the designs. It's his design. It's an open source design. But Kevin Gilmore also does, he's got a lot of designs. A lot of the head amp stuff is based on Kevin's designs. Including the Blue Hawaii that comes out of a Kevin design. Great engineer, electrical and electronics engineer. MJ3 is Nephilim says the MJ3 is a good price, worth it. I don't know what the MJ3 is. Reminder never to message Michael on HeadFi, 31 messages in the inbox. Yeah, I know. Guys, I don't get over there that often. Every now and then I just look at stuff. But it's true. I like it. I never get around to, it's like, and I just because they have not, I don't always get along with HeadFi guys. I appreciate what they do, and I think they've been tremendously good for the hobby. But they don't like my show for some reason. I don't know why. What's off is that? I don't know. Anybody got it? No, there's nothing here. I haven't had a new message since October 15th. So there you go. Too fun. But you have my email address, so just contact me at my email address. It's the best way to do it. Focal lenses. Never heard of them. FoKus flooding their own market of headphones. Yeah, they've got a ton of models out right now. They've got Modelitis. There's a couple of brands like that that just pump out too much stuff. I think that HiFiman is on the very ragged edge of that. They're pushing like too many products. Like, is the Aria that different than the HE-1000? Like, they're so close now. I don't know. I would eliminate one of those two. I don't know. Just my thought. Investing in a cable, you got to be damn certain you're going to live with that headphone and love it. He did that with his D8000 because he loves that headphone. I got to be sure. Michael agreed. Yeah, you'll listed at $5,000 the Carbon CC. You're just not going to make money on it. You're not going to make money, and you're not going to retain your investment on a cable. These things go down in price. Where's that really expensive cable I have? I don't know where it is. It's missing. MIA. Oh, it's probably in the back. I have an Axios from Kimber. I think it's Kimber. It's a 16 strand silver, blah 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 blah, all the things, at $2,500 to $3,000 cable, and I think I bought it for $1,000. It was like somebody was selling it. I got it for under $1,000. I think it was like $900. Just you'd never get your value out of a cable. It's never going to hold its value. And the price was right, and I'm just like, I'm stupid, so I bought it. 5,000. That sounds about right for Carbon CC. There's a T2 Grand Cayman, and then the rest. Although those are the Grand Cayman is the. Well, I don't want to talk about it. I have to look this up to clarify, but I don't know what I had said that you're responding to, Gene. But I know that Kevin Gilmore designed. He did the plans for a lot of these products that some of these companies are coming out with, and like the KGS SHV, the KG is Kevin Gilmore. And I know that he had a role in the Blue Hawaii and the new H, whatever it is from Headamp that's about to be released. That was his design as well. Some of these guys, like, they're just, like Lord Gwyn, who did the Aegis. He's done a bunch of amps and stuff, like, mythical people. Would love to sit down and share a cup of coffee with them sometime and just ask about, where they came up with designs and stuff, what they were going for. Latest CFA headphone amp from Headamp looks really good. That's a KG design also. If I'm pretty sure. I seem to remember reading that. Looks like a tank. Yeah. Nephilim says he thinks Campfire Audio has gone overboard with their product line. It's too much. Yes. And I think that another one is Music Tech with the Unique Melody. I think Unique Melody had the Mest, which was easy. It was an identifiable product. And now there's so many versions of that Mest. They've complicated the hell out of the line. It doesn't make sense anymore. Like, they should have come up with some different names and whatever, but there's just too much. Like, it was so simple when they just had a couple of products, and one of them was the Mest, and you knew what you were getting. Like, you knew what to order. It gets complicated. Like, what do you do with Campfire? Is awesome, but it's like, what do you do with that? With 75 different versions of, like, this one's got 8 balanced armatures. This one's got 10 balanced armatures. This one's got 12 balanced armatures. Like, all of this stuff, it's like, they blur together. And they all, and then they're all in the same shell, but they're anodized different colors. It's like, Jesus, I can't tell one from the other. It's crazy. I think companies that do it well, I think that's why Noble has a really clear product line. I think they're expensive, but like there's stuff now at almost like every step up, and they're reasonably spaced. I think for a while 64 Audio had a really clear lineup, and they got muddled. They've got too much going on now. They need to simplify. What they need to do is discontinue some of these models now, because now they've got the Forte Noir, the Forte Blanc, but like it got convoluted. Like, what are they? Do they have any differences? They're not clear on what the differences are. It's hard to tell them apart. I think that happens when just when you get a bunch of products. But what you need to do is discontinue and kill off some of the lower stuff. I think Zach at ZMF is like, he's going to have to retire some of these models. Like, I don't think you can. I think he should. If he hasn't, and I don't know that he hasn't, but I haven't been over to his website. But like, some of these earlier headphones, the Aeolus, the I hope I got that right. The Areola. No, the Aeolus, some of those earlier models, like it's when you've got something like the Bokeh, it's like clear the decks so that people can focus on the Bokeh. You know what I mean? Because it's such a good headphone. Like, don't confuse it by having other headphones around there. I would discontinue those other models. That's just my marketing head. And by the way, it makes your production line much more efficient too. A guy like Ryan, who's poor guy's building one headphone 2 different ways. That's tough. But it's a simplified product line. The best thing about a company basically competing with itself, like HiFiman, releasing the Unveiled, is that you can score their other models for cheap. Like on the used market, or it pushes down the price. I think the most attractive thing right now is that you can buy a Sesfara, provided you have the amplification. You can buy a Sesfara for about $3,000 now. That's great. That's a steal. Makes me sad because I paid so much more for mine. But I mean, you can get a deal on a Sesfara now. That's fantastic, because that's still it is a world-class headphone. And there are some folks out there who reviewed the new Unveiled and said they liked the Sesfara better, the original Sesfara. So there's that too. I happen to think I was just blown away by what I heard from that Sesfara Unveiled. That's why it gets my headphone of the year. If you go back to the top of the show, guys, I did a segment on my headphone picks for 24, my best picks for 24. And I did headphone, digital source, IEM. I gave an IEM, and then amplification. Couple things, just my thoughts on what I was doing. Anyway, JTB, so we did that. DSP cables are going to be the next big deal. Okay. Keep an eye on that for 25. Okay. And JTB makes a good point there. Yes, I agree. Fellas, I'm gonna call this one for today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, though. I've got a brand new episode coming out in the morning. It is not a headphone. It is a mystery box, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. And I was excited by it, and the meaning behind it. It's just the unboxing. Well, there's a review to come on it, so that's how good it is. It's going to get a review too. And make sure you have a good week. Have a good rest of your week. Hope everybody recovered from their holidays as best they can. And I'm hoping that we get a lot of people to watch tomorrow's episode. It's fun. It's going to be a mystery box, and I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, tip your waiters or waitresses on the way out, and make sure you do some shots before bedtime tonight so you sleep the whole night through. All right, everybody. Cheers, and I'll see you guys before you know it. Watch tomorrow.
Let's all get drunk. happy hour, people. Let's hang out and get wasted at the director's garage.